Hello and greetings to our wonderful viewers out there. A reminder that this is Atlantic TV, you live, and this is Atlantic TV, the home of TV Revolution. In our studios right here in Farato, West Coast region, the little smiling coast of Africa, the Gambia. Well, today I'm honored and very pleased to have a very wonderful, exclusive interview with the one and only, better known as Rebellion the Recaller. Well, this is going to be exclusive because it all starts a long time, couple of decades ago, and here we are. And I'm so happy to host him live for this exclusive interview inside Atlantic TV, the home of TV Revolution, the Gambia. Well, Rebellion the Recaller, Amayu, that's Seki. Welcome to Atlantic TV.
Yes, man. Atlantic TV, this is like I'm really excited, because this is not just a TV reporter or a radio. This is a friend to me. This person is a big brother to me.
Yes.
So the excitement is like I'm feeling like a small boy right now. You know what I'm saying? As you say, it's more than 2 decades.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been a long while, and you've been right there from the very inception of my career. With my peers, my close friends and things. So we are here right now, 2024.
Tell the viewers.
We're here right now, 2024, with Atlantic TV. Undertaking the nation. Broadcasting all kind of activities and events. Onto the people. Revolution. How you say? Revolution.
TV, the home of TV Revolution.
The home of TV Revolution. So it englobes everything. So it's like, the excitement is just overwhelming. So Big Sam International, we have a long history. Now, seeing him undertaking this powerhouse media by Max Milal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's my circle. It's like among my people. So the excitement is just, what I'm saying?
That's Rebellion the Recaller. Of course, the Gambia's finest, as we definitely know him for quite a while. Rebellion the Recaller is not somebody that is, in fact, it's a household name in the Gambia and outer world out there. Well, Rebellion after a decade, a return to the Gambia with a wonderful live band performance at the Serekunda East Minister. We'll come into that later. But first, exclusive interview explains everything about the individual, from where you start, where you born, etc. And this is where I'm going to start with him. People know you as Rebellion the Recaller. That's the artist name that goes. But can you tell us who is Rebellion the Recaller? Born, who, where, and etc. for my viewers?
Yeah, Rebellion the Recaller is an African individual who happened to be born in Europe, in France. Driven to Africa back home, in the years of 1990, and then start, getting, affiliated with the elements of my origin that pertain to me as who I am as a person, as an individual, learning from my roots and culture, So from 1990, when I reached Gambia, I started to, get into the vibes of, who and where I belong to, So it all started during that time, I couldn't speak any language.
Oh yeah?
No, definitely only French. So
because you were born in France.
Yeah, get to learn the language, get to be apt, to it. And then through the years, started to nurture my relations and, being involved with the people around me and, discovering, it actually started from a long way anyway, So from 1990, residing in Banjul for the first time due to my schooling. Then we moved to Brikama, but due to that same schooling, because I was attending the French school, Senegalese high school in Cardiff South.
Yeah, we'll come to that education. But like I said, when you came, it was only from France. It was only French. Not even your native Jahanka or whatever Mandinka.
few words.
Few words.
Yeah, but absolutely blank-headed, trust me. I was like,
So what's the real name?
my real name, Bafode Drami. I'm a Drami man, we are known for loving food, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm a Drami man, and yeah, it's quite a history though, but yeah, actually my initiated affiliation to reggae music, took roots from a long way, But when I touched on Gambia, my uncles they used to be, fans of reggae music, so I used to attend their environment every now and then, drinking listening to the vibes and getting along with the notion of music and up to date. But yeah, it came from a long way from scratch,
Yeah.
So Bafode Drame.
Bafode Drame.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you get it. As you can hear from the man himself, the real name is Bafode Drame, better known as Rebellion de Col. Born in France, then the family relocated back to the Gambia, from Banjul then to Brikama. Well, I think that's, for my viewers, I think that's a very, very important history to know about everybody's and whoever is calling him Rebellion the Recaller. Well, that's the real, the family history of him. But Recaller, let's now swift to your education background. Talk about French and then now, but most of the people came to you when you are somewhere in St. Augustine. Tell us a little bit about your educational background.
Yeah, my educational background actually, okay, coming from France at that time, French was the only language I was able to, communicate and, relate myself with. So, my parents decided for me to proceed with the French, as for my little brother as well. And then I went on until I reached from 3, 4. We do our GC O level from 3 in the French academy.
Okay.
Was it 3 or 4? But in the English school they used to do it at 5, from 5.
4, 5 years.
Yeah. So after having done that, that's how I made a trans academic sort of kind of, moving from French school to English school.
Okay.
By then, our holiday period would be like beginning of June.
Okay.
We would start quite early, and we will prolong the holiday until October.
Okay.
Like October the 15th. So I wanted to try to do English school, but from a different grade. But by then they told me, well, you are coming from a different background, you would rather go a little bit behind. So I started all the way from primary school after, because at the time the middle school and the high school they were already ahead of their scheduling and things. So they told me you need to do the previous classes, so
you have to go back.
Yeah, and formulate your basics in English and
come up.
Yeah, so then I went to Brikama Primary School. That's where I building up this strong bond with some specific individuals I met here in Brikama, like Pamoudou Sise, Amadou Jete, and So
the now Minister of Information brother,
yes,
brother,
okay. Exactly.
Okay.
So and then later on, and then we ended up building this strong cordial relation amongst ourselves, and even continue the academic together. We will be passing the exam together, proceeding to the same class together until so Brikama Primary School, Baju.
Okay. St. Augustine. That is St. Augustine Junior, Baju. I know.
Baju,
yeah, I know Baju near Parochial Hall.
Yeah.
St. Augustine.
Right opposite. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know, Hagan Street. I don't know.
Yeah, it should be Hagan somewhere. Parochial Hall. Yeah.
And then from there, to St. Augustine High School.
St. Augustine High School.
So during my period of school time, I've made up lots of friends, lots of people, and due to that fact also I used to stay in different places in order to attend the school, because the traveling was a bit of a struggle by then.
Okay.
Traveling all the way from Brikama, the school bus and lift and all these things. Sometimes school bus won't stop they won't stop they will not stop among certain stops. They would pass all those stops to go to
the inner one.
They will go up to, I don't know, up to Tallinding, Glatinpula, so and the French school, when I was in the French school, we would finish school like around after 3, and by then it always coincide with the time whereby buses are no longer running except the last buses.
Yeah.
So they will be full. So
Okay.
they won't stop. They won't stop at Westfield. They will be travel. They will be
All the way to
buses
Tallinn.
yeah. So we will have to walk all the way. So due to all that, I stayed in Canning South. I stayed in Dipakunda. I stayed in also Banjul also. I ended up affiliated with many different youths and Don Jones and so. Sometimes it would be a sort of argument. Yeah, Rebellion was here. No, he was here. The Brigama brothers would say, no, he's from Brigama. And the Carnegie say, no, man, he's starting Carnegie.
He's not here.
So they really didn't argue about that, by
Okay.
then. But, I was very affiliated with the people around
People,
me.
yeah, that's why.
So.
So St. Augustine's were the alma mater.
Yes.
That's where the breakthrough comes.
Yeah, that's where I would say things ended up things start to begin to reach out the horizon.
The horizon.
Yeah, but St. Augustine, I from St. Agnes High School to Briggs, Pajuf, St. Augustine.
Well, that's the educational background of the Great Rebellion, the Recaller.
Yeah.
Well, now let's talk about the music career.
Yeah.
When did it come to you, or when do you realize your potential in the music and you said, come on, I'm going to do this?
Yeah.
I'm coming to later because I personally was part of when you come to the company.
Yes.
But let me first start Rebellion. Where did your musical stuff came to you and the idea? People will say it's from a great Jahanka family, and when he had Rebellion, he said, how does it come to you?
Yeah, specifically, it all began from my admiration towards reggae music, within its nature, the music itself specifically, because it has its own historical pretexts. Reggae music also has its reason to be existing. You understand? It hasn't come out of the blue. You understand? There had been situations and conditions that has implicated its existence. So all that intrigued me. My intuition towards reggae music draw me into get hold of the microphone and try to advocate something. But first and foremost, I was very, very impressed about the music itself. How educative it is, how enlightening, how it was more for the emancipation of a larger group of people. It wasn't. I couldn't see it as the other type of music would be more about your personal experience in life, and it's reggae is more global. Reggae, if you're a reggae artist, it's more like you are addressing onto a larger group of people. You understand?
Yep.
Which are a larger group of people who also been into that same sort of unbearable conditions, that brought them up to this, this state right now. So, black people, the Middle Passage, you understand, slavery, and all its implication, as it is still going on. The implication of what had happened in the past are still impacting today. Mentality-wise, perception-wise, or even way of living-wise. What had occurred in the past has left, certain kind of influences in which we are, going. So that's the thing about reggae music, it's different. Reggae is something else. It's an outcry of the sufferer. For me, it's a means of directing yourself within the dark, because those who are singing it are more put into that position to advocate and address this issue onto those who've gone through, the victims, those who've gone through the same situation. So that really put me into a position whereby I began to,
Like the stuff.
even the like to like it, but having the urge
To do it.
defend it.
Exactly.
First to defend it.
Or to defend it.
Yes, first and foremost.
Okay.
I will be listening to reggae music, some good music, good stuff, good message. I will be writing down.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I will be playing the thing, rewind it, make sure I heard it right, write it down.
Write it down.
And talk to the youth there. Yo, listen to Bootleg here. You see what you know what you say here? Would you say this and that and that and that? Or different artists. I will be very selective into them because of course there are varieties of reggae, but I will be specific like the uplifting ones, you know.
Okay.
So I will have my own, you know, selections of artists which I admire when it comes to that, when it comes to stuff of life and, you know, lifting up the level of awareness, you know, to the people. Those who are much more concerned into that, not too much into the slackness, you know, woman, guns and liquor. And so I will be. I have become that sort of individual in the society. I will be roaming around with my cassettes. When I come, I see the boys playing their music. I won't even ask because, you know, I know them. So I will just come and I will be quick. I will stop the tape, take off the tape, throw it there, put my inside, and press it. And before they will come and say, hey, what are you doing? I already played.
Already played.
So when he's playing, they will listen and say, oh yeah, nice. What is that? Who's that? You know? Yeah, just hold on.
Just hold on.
This guy, you know? No. Listen to this cassette. This is the right music, guys. Listen to this. And I will put the cassette over there. That's I will be very stubborn, you know. So that's why I ended up. That's how. Before I had seen myself in the picture as someone holding the mic, advocating something, singing, I was more like, okay, these artists, I think they are worth me to get across because, you know, they are into this for a very specific purpose and they are serving it. They are not into it just to beat up the chest that I'm the greatest, I'm the baddest. No, they are more like trying to heal the wounds of the youth and the people psychologically, whether it's black or white. You know what I'm saying? So this was the treasure for me.
For you.
Yeah, this
motivates you.
Wow.
This brings the inability or the passion to do the music.
Passion.
To do the music.
Yes.
Passion is everything.
Yes.
The passion.
That's what really triggered up. I wasn't even sure about me being an artist. No, me, I was I was more like dealing with the vibes, cassette, and tape. Yeah. Yo, check this music, check this artist, check what the man say. You know, it's all about spirituality, healing yourself, find the right way, find yourself. It's all about, because we're in a constant state of struggle. We're in a constant state of seeking how and what and how to do with the challenges, with the things we are facing in our life in order to, you understand, reach the brim. You know, it's a constant state of struggle. Struggle is constant in life. So in regard to that, the music that suit that the most in terms of encouraging the person, you know, to be upright into that matter. The only type of vessel or media or medium or, you understand, I could find is reggae music. It's just that.
It's just right.
It's just reggae music.
And then it comes to you.
Yeah. So, you know, through the years, I ended up. I kind of tried to write a song on my own because I would be singing many artist songs, you know, from top to bottom. So I think it was peer pressure. You know, Car Sanchez was there too. Car Sanchez. You know Car Sanchez?
Of course. Pajobate.
Yes.
Car Sanchez.
Yeah.
Big up Car Sanchez. Pajobate. Pajobate Kuna family. We love you. History.
It's like
the Portmore.
It's coming right now. It's like right now. Things are just.
It's just clicking. Yeah.
Car Sanchez, Pacoca.
Pacoca, yeah.
Yes, man.
You know. The puppies and the big and the Sanjalis.
But Pacoca and Car Sanchez, they were very article, you know.
They're very, I know, especially Pa.
Yeah, Pa. Yeah. Oh, we used to argue about certain artists, you know. No, this artist is weak, is better than this artist because this artist is more concerned about this. Oh no, this. So you know, so they will reveal you as they tell you because you know. But anyway, so you know, and then I ended up writing my first song.
Exactly, that's what I'm coming to. Yes.
Wind Blow. I don't even remember the lyrics. I forget, but I composed the song for the first time, and it was just a joy for me, you know. But when I played it to Car Sanchez, he told me, "Youth, I think you should try this. Try it on the mic, man. You can do it. This is your lyrics. You can do it, man. Wicked." You know, Car Sanchez is very.
I know
he's a real coach, you know.
He's a real one.
He's a real coach, you know. Coach,
I know, yeah.
Life coach, you know.
Yeah.
You know, this is it, man. Sound good, conscious, heavily rewarded. This is something like, you know, full of thought. You know, it would urge someone to think about it because the way you let it out and how I was singing it. So that was the first push. That was the first sort of convincing force I received that led me to, all right, let me try and get it down, you know. But it took. It wasn't really like. It was really like this.
It was really good.
Really
do you remember your first single that I play on the radio, and you have to take it to Galan Studio.
Yeah.
You remember that, Rebellion?
That's
And
right.
remember the first mic I give you in Pendula nightclub in Brikama. You remember that?
That was the turning point, actually. This.
Obviously, that was the first single that I interview you, put you on the out there at Pendula, and then take to the Galan Studio. That was the first. You remember?
No, that was you.
Yeah.
I mean, you were like, you found me sitting there in the dark.
Yeah, man.
And then you take the big light, just say, hey, you come here, help me. And what are you hiding for? Come. When I record the song,
yeah,
I brought it to you.
Yes.
So that was the time for me. When I brought it, it was like fruits ripe now.
Yeah.
No hideout.
Yeah.
Exposed.
Boom.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
That was, you was like, Rebel, no. I see that. You took the light and put it on.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my gosh, under the spotlight. I was like, can do it, man. Rebellion did it, caller.
So that was it, and that was back in the days in Brikama, the back of FMB radio, where all these boys, the Jones, the Pa, and everybody, that was something.
And then all the brothers.
Let's talk about this. You recorded a couple of songs and albums.
Yeah.
What do you think became the turning point in your musical in the Gambia?
In the Gambia, oh yeah. There had been a couple of different turning points, The 1 for 1,
Yeah.
The Remorse Rebel. No, the album and the Remorse Rebel.
Remorse Rebel.
Yeah, because the 1 for 1 came quite early, recorded by Pajalo.
Galan Studio. That was the 1 for 1 that we promoted. That was the first that we do.
That was the turning point.
That was the turning point. Yeah, the layout.
The tune was out.
Big up Pajalo, Galan Studio.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely, Pajalo, my honor and respect due to you for taking part into the inception of what we are talking about today. Yeah.
So when we are 1 for 1, then we have the.
We had 1 for 1. We had 1 for 1, and the Remorse Rebel came along with the album.
With the album.
But there had been something before in BDF. I can't remember. But anyway, 1 for 1 is the gateway.
It's the gateway. And the album was recorded by
Hakim.
Sons of Light.
Sons of Light.
Sons of Light.
Collaboration with Majula.
Yeah.
It was both of us.
Majula, okay.
Me, like inspired ones, Hakim and Majula. We are the three.
That's the inspired one. That was involved.
Yeah, inspired of me, rock bass, Amulu Jaite,
Yeah.
So that first release been undertaken on our own, with them. But it was a blast, It was really like something people have been longing for quite some time. It was from the time I came up with the 1 for 1 till the album. There had been a time span in between.
Okay.
But still, the 1 for 1 was just ravaging everywhere.
Yeah.
Since I had my single and I was wanted album for shows, just by the one single, 1 for 1 for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Be performing here and there. I had no album, just a single.
Just a single 1 for 1.
And people were battering me on my head, saying, "Yo, where's the album? DJ Mo."
Yeah.
Yo, big up DJ Mo.
Yeah, Mo.
DJ Mo.
DJ Mo.
West Coast, man. Big up yourself, man. I cannot forget you.
Yeah,
Sorry about that, but
only Gambian that was doing the Gambian music for decades.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember. Back in the West Coast radio. Big up DJ Mo. He's now an Alhaji DJ Mo.
Yes, Alhaji DJ Mo.
Yeah. So that was it.
And then 1 for 1 was like the layout,
and then
but we must rebel and the album, the breakthrough worldwide.
That was the breakthrough worldwide.
We
must rebel.
Where where I didn't expect myself to be heard of. It put me there. That's we must rebel.
We must rebel.
That was incredible, man. That was like beyond the reach of my expectation even. And I couldn't fathom that I would be like here.
There's this track, Rebellion. I'll tell you, people like us think a lot about this track. Rebellion was here doing everything from the 141 to the most rebel. And there they come this song, Departing from These Days.
Oh my goodness.
And you know what is behind that song? Immediately Rebel released that. Those were the days, the time that Rebel left the source of the Gambia. It's just like something that connive, departing from this day and Rebel depart to the other world. Tell us a little bit about that, because that was something that it still remained.
Yes.
And when I read that, and when that was released, it was just a couple of months and Rebel lived with the entourage from the Gambia.
This was
and you said departing from these days.
Bro, it's a divine orchestration. That orchestration was ordained by the Almighty Himself. How things been like laid within their purpose and timing, and state of growth, chronologically. It is beyond my control. This wasn't.
That was beyond your control.
Yeah.
It was just that you spill and
the Yemo would ask me about the album. I was like, oh yeah, God time, but that was never enough for DJ Mo.
It was never.
When I tell you God time, he would say, yeah, but people asking for it. That was the Yemo. He was like, God time, but when? It was like, yeah, well, God time soon, But yeah, departing from this, like, it denoted the beginning of my career.
Yeah.
Departing from these days, it's like it gives you something to expect in the future, because it's now starting now. So departing from this was like the departure of my journey, musically, the mission, my role into this. Whether it's for beating up my chest, I'm this, I'm that, or to heal the wounds of the mental scare of the youth them, or victims of the things they've gone through history, which are still impacting us today, or just to play a role in the best way as possible within the next man's struggle, whatever, that was the thing about departing from these days.
It was incredible. It still stayed with my mind.
The next album come in this time.
In this time.
Departing from these days. No, sorry. Departing from these days. Moving on.
Moving on, exactly.
Moving on. That's the next album.
Yeah, moving on.
So you see how it's following?
So you see how
departing from these days. And then moving on.
Yeah.
And then the third album.
Yeah.
So even if you check the titles,
it comes in like six. You realize it, Lenny? I was thinking
when I go back and I look around some people and I say, yeah, but the title of each album is kind of following each other.
I was following it.
So which means the next album, I have to think about it. But
I was following the sequel. This is what I'm trying to tell you.
Goodness. Yeah.
So this is how it goes.
Departing from these days. Yeah. Moving on, and then in this time album. In this time, I was the last one I came up with, where I have gentlemen, and that's the word I call rather all of my like the best production I came up with various. That's the compilation.
That you make.
The last one in this time. The one before that is Moving On, made by IM Music from Berlin. That's the one in which I made some songs in Jamaica. By Bobby Digital.
Bobby Digital, yeah.
Great.
I know.
Bobby Dixon.
Yeah.
Is it true that you are defending Voice of My People? They were all recorded in the studio. That's the Moving On. Then before the Moving On,
Departing from.
It has two volumes.
It have two volumes.
Yeah, the Departing from This Day. It had the first one and the second one.
And the second one.
Yeah, the second one has few changes.
I
have added up some songs which I made with Paul from Jalayon.
With He's in the state, Pabo, the Seattle boy now, Pabo boy. Seattle man. But let me ask you this, it might be a bit difficult for you. Which of this album, before we move outside, we're going out from right here, we're going your trip, but which of this album Rebellion will take that is your best, or that properly, or that you can I know it's the job that you did yourself, basically, as the thing is the job that you do yourself, but then it might kind of funny to pick from the lot, but just try and see. Let's do this one more time, because I'm just trying to make something right here because we're going outside when he left out Uganda. But before then, these are a couple of albums that he put together. So I just want him to tell us which one is his best, or which one did he think sell him to move out of the out of.
Well, I would say, you know, I would say the very one that handed me out, that handed me out into the hands of the people as being, you know, discovered and accessible onto them in order for them to rediscover me as an artist. The album that propelled me and gave me a certain kind of reference and recognition in a sense. You know, I would say I have to say the first one.
The first one.
Yes. The
And
first one, which is departing from these days.
Departing from these
Yeah,
days.
it's really like,
Yeah,
you know, you've got in this time. Yeah, you've got even moving on. I had quite a good, adventurous, you know, movements and meetings with varieties of icons in the reggae music with the moving on. A very significant adventure I had with that one in the making of
in
it.
the making of
You know, been to Jamaica, meet up with, you know, Buju was in his house. You know, meet with Ghost and other artists all in his house, even Assassin in his house. They don't chill there. You know, been to Penthouse as well. Jordan Banova, he just with there. He was just about to go to Canada, but he was so amazed to see me. You know, he was, you know, and Cell Block, you know, from the media, not king. Everybody was really like, and not even being in Jamaica, but the making of that album during that time in Germany, even, you know, in Berlin, you know, where I used to work, some artists would come, and because of I'm in this studio, I'm there, they would come and pass by and check me up there. Pressure, I have something with Pressure. We had it in that short instant when he came. He was, the administrative were in the lookout for a band to back them up, but he asked about which band is backing me. You know, and then they let him know, say, all right, I will work with them, hence they are backing Rebellion. He was, how to say that? He was well assured that, okay, that's the right, that will be okay. Hence Rebellion is okay with them.
I'm okay.
Yeah, so, you know, it was really, it was pretty, I would say, adventurous, you know, meeting different faces, you know, notable faces in the scene, in the industry, especially reggae music, meeting, you know, so moving on really gave me that. Yeah, but I would credit the first one. where you involved, you know, all of you are involved, you know,
Okay.
where it all began, where it all started.
All right, let's ask this. After you depart from the Gambia, without them, tell us a little bit about that and the great comeback. That is the welcoming at the Banjul International Airport, and then the show at Serekunais. But take us through when you, what were you? I know the likes of idol music and all that stuff are involved when you went there, stuff that you do out there for decades, and now he came back with a very good welcoming, and then the show, which Atlantic TV. Thank you so much, Max Miral, Rita, and everybody for sending the TV crew, you know, Rocky B, Zero, to cover it live.
Well, I would say fulfilling, you know. You know, I felt very, I really, you know, had this sense of fulfillment, you know, like, okay, you know, this initiative, this Rebel Reggae Fest is more like something I ought to return onto the people after all these years of support and admiration and encouragement, you know, I've been receiving that kept me standing and withstanding the test of time, even, you know, those who've been, you know, in love with the music from day one and have posed all their trust and hope in me, you know, in regard of, you know, spreading, you know, Gambia on a wider scale when it comes to reggae music and making it more, you know, so recognizable, you understand? So this is more like something that I ought to return onto the people, you know. But for me myself is that I see that it's kind of overdue, but for it to have finally take place has denoted unto me that, yeah, success has been attained, you know, once it has been, once it took place, you understand? So it is like I said, like a favor that I ought to return, like a gesture of gratitude. I need to that I felt like I need to return onto Gambia, to the people who've been there for me from day one. So this Rebel Reggae Fest, it is such an initiative that, you know, the coming back, the welcoming, the welcoming by ST and everybody, all of you, the Atlantic TV, for having mobilized the team to come and be there on the spot. You know what I'm saying? Good coverage of everything, you know what I'm saying? All these momentum, all these movements, it gave me that sense of fulfillment, like Dua Jabo. It has finally been, been put into realization. You understand? Something I've been longing for, I've been dreaming for, I've been anticipating for many years. You understand? So, we can back together and also reconsolidate reggae music in the country, to reconsolidate its sentiment in the hearts and minds of its lovers and singers. You understand? Whether it's a reggae lover or it's a reggae artist, to facilitate that ground for it to flourish and germinate and remain, because reggae is part of Gambian culture. Of course, it's come from Jamaica, but that is where it sprang from. It springs from Jamaica, but it roots here in Africa. Jamaica is a melting pot of all these varieties of tribes and dialects that got thrown into that island and ended up, unifying themselves, and ended up also formulating a way of communication amongst themselves by, of course, utilizing the language of the slave masters. Understand? Which is English. That's why we got patois. It's like English being battered, like, you know what I mean? Breaking down, broken English. For us among ourselves to be able to communicate without the slave master having any clue, you understand? Until later on, they managed to decipher that language. But that's what it is. When you speak of Jamaica, you speak of Africa. Africa, and how after so many centuries after, Africa, like Africans, been taking all of their against their will, dumped in Jamaica, ended up organizing and managing themselves to survive until they made it. They managed it. So now, there comes Jamaica. So just to that sort of kind of sense of distant relatives, I want to clarify and brush it up a little bit more. That is much more than distant relatives. The only distant that makes us distant from them is the time frame, the time elapsement. It happened 400 years ago, and that's it. But before that, we are all here. You know what I'm saying? Before 400, there had been no Jamaica. There were no Jamaica in the Bible. We are all here. So, to build a bridge, they even call him carried beyond the Caribbean. They are carried beyond those notions, just to give them a sense of family sense that we are all from the same people by utilizing reggae music itself, because of what reggae music is attempting to do, to unify the people, consolidate our sentiment as black people, whether it's from the Caribbean or in America or here. That's what reggae music is there for. So, due to that matter, it has given me a lot of implication to definitely do what I gotta do in regard of having this means of communication deeply rooted in our country, because this is part of our culture as well. That's what I'm utilizing to draw all this separation, things that separates us, to remove all that and let us draw closer to each other. So that's the notion of Rebel Reggae Fest.
Exactly.
Reggae music in Gambia, so it could be, so it could facilitate, this sort of relation we are trying to nurture with the outside world. You understand? We want to give a piece of invitation to our culture, our values, and all these things. But of course, we can do it in our language, Mandinka, Fula, of course. But when it comes to relating ourselves with the people in the outside world who've been put into that situation against their will for centuries, understand? In order to draw that, one will have to remove the language barrier, because I can tell them about my culture in Mandinka. But would they understand really the meaning of my culture and its value? I don't think so. Unless if I use their language, which is more inviting, appealing because it requires your understanding. Understand? Not just culture, black culture, yeah, yeah, fine. But what are the notion that makes it so beautiful and valuable and rich? That need to be understood. Therefore, that's where reggae music is supposed to take place. That's where reggae music have to come and do its job. It's not like I'm singing about Jamaica or I'm singing about the slave masters or Babylon. No, no, no.
It's about the face.
Me, where I'm coming from, my culture, the type of people I'm coming from, that's what I'm singing into that music. I'm taking references to my culture by using these means of communication so that my culture can be conveyed and understood to the one I'm addressing myself to. That's where reggae music takes its essence, its importance.
And that's the idea behind the Camp Fest.
That's the idea behind this festival. That's the idea behind Rebellion being a reggae artist. That's the idea behind Rebellion doing reggae music.
Okay.
I want the world to come to Gambia.
To know about
I can keep it Mandinka. I can keep it Wolof. Fine. But I'm not breaching the boundaries. It's just here. And my concern is those out there. So that we can have yes, oh yeah, Gambia. Yeah, I saw them people think. That's how they live. That's how they think. All right, let me go and have a look because the language has journey and the music itself. So it's just a means of communication.
Communication, yeah.
Means of reaching out the people, using its protocol rightly as it is, and let the people have a piece of understanding of your culture within its right context.
Thank you.
You understand? Because we're talking about values, we're talking about moral values, we're talking about humanity, we're talking about integrity, we're talking about the building block of a society. We're talking about, you know what I mean? That's what we are trying to introduce onto the world by using reggae music.
Thank you.
Rebel Reggae Fest is reggae music to reconsolidate its sentiment back into the country because it's been there. We've absorbed this music from our previous generation, our parents, our uncles. They used to dig the vibe. That's how we get absorbed to it. Understand? But if one would check the history of this music, it's fascinating because it's from here.
Yeah, that's right.
In a sense.
That's right.
This reggae, the speed and all this thing, is all of our stuff being mixed up and delivered like this, you know what I'm saying?
That's
because
rebellion.
Elevate the stress,
Exactly.
being put into captivity is such a thing. You don't even wish that to your enemy, bro.
That's right. That's right. So there you got it. Recall, we cannot end this interview without. I know you got some messages regarding the again another campus coming up, but also back in the days, the Portmore, the family. Maybe you have one or two or two. Man. Yeah, maybe I didn't ask you have one or two words because already we are at the end.
I've been scraping the surface a bit regarding to that because the inception of my story come from a way back. I cannot even restrict it up to a certain level because I would say the moment I reached Gambia since Banjul, the nurture and the formulation of my career was already at work.
Yeah.
It was already at work.
Already,
like, I was into the vibe already. I was admiring this thing called reggae music. I was so, because I don't know why when it plays, I feel like, yeah, it's talking to me. It's like, oh yeah, vibe, yeah. You were a vibes lover also, when you were young. And
that's why I talk about Portmore and all of that too.
So, it's been something embedded into me, but I start to meet up with my friends, like my good friend Amadou Jaite, Pamulu Sise. I have my circle, and peer pressure, I know. You remember doing so, and that's how it's Sanjay and everybody. Yeah. That's why I get to know Papa Sanjay. That's the same.
Portmore is the foundation.
Yeah.
And this is where the rock base and all them crew
and then later on, because we started everything. Rock base was not there by yet. Rock base came a little bit later.
A little bit later.
Yeah. Until I met his younger brother, who used to tell me about him. My brother, he liked me. I said, okay, let's go and check your brother. And he knew also one of my friends, which is Insisto Banjul Alaji Swade.
Yeah.
He was already affiliated with them.
Yeah.
So one day I get to come to his place. You know, he introduced me to rock bass. I instantly fell in love with the brother, you know, and like, you know, and this brother has been like, he has been like a backbone to me, like a, well, not backbone, but like something I can lean on and say, and face when I'm gonna face straight up. Like, you know, that was rock bass. He's my shadow.
He's a shadow.
Wherever you see him,
He's
I'm just right there. Wherever you see me, rock bass is not far.
Well, that is a rebellion, but finally we've come to the end of this wonderful exclusive interview. I know you all know in depth about rebellion because people that
Self-recognition of who you are and where you're at and why you're here. You know, very simple and straightforward. Life is a short, very short road, you know, to travel. And for any individual who might find himself walking on the surface of the earth, know that all the opportunity and blessings and love has been poured down on you, you know, for you to make, the best use of it, you know, whilst you can. You know, beauty is an aspect that should be a charitable act naturally, because we as human beings, we've been created like a creature that seek and crave for love and also show love. We need to show love and we need to be loved. That's one aspect of our creature, of our creation. The second aspect of it is that we are forgetful creatures. We do forget. That's naturally. We do forget. It's not bad, but we need to work on that. We need to find ways to remember. And also we should understand that we are creatures that seek to be loved and also need to express it, just like a child. You can put a child into test, you will see all these things. So my point was like to, you know, as a human being, to really understand the virtue of life, the factual virtue of life, which is like, be good, as much as you can afford, possibly, you know, and render the due to whom it belongs, that there could be only one side of reliance in terms of life, which is God the Almighty, and that there had been individuals that came through the history of mankind, termed and chosen and called as prophets and messengers under the service of God for the salvation of mankind. So these are things which shouldn't be ignored. They are not fables of the past, they are actual facts. So to all my people, all my beautiful people, all my beautiful mothers and fathers, this is my piece of advice to you, that, you know, there could be only one side of reliance when it comes to existence, which is God the Almighty, His boundless mercy and grace. See? So that's my advice, you know.
Thank
Simple
you.
and straightforward.
Thank you so much, Rebellion, the Recaller, of course, Bafode. Thank you for coming. And I think my viewers definitely the first time only on Atlantic TV. Only on Atlantic
this
TV.
time is
Exclusively only Atlantic TV, the home of TV Revolution. Meanwhile, thank you so much. You know, I think everybody, especially my guys behind the camera, Edu, you know, of course,
Yo, Edu, big up
Sehu,
yourself.
and
Yo,
of course, the one and only Rocky B International, the man
Rocky
himself.
B.
So thank you so much,
Baby
Gio, and
face.
everybody.
Max
and my
Miral.
viewers. Max Miral, Rita,
Everybody.
and everybody. We are proud of
Uncle
you guys.
Andy Kara, big up yourself as well. You know?
Thank you so much, and everybody out there. On that note, thank you so much. Of course, this is Atlantic TV, and that was the exclusive. With that only, Rebellion, the Recaller. More coming.